A Philippine storm still possible amongst the quiet tropics on tonight's Tropical Weather Bulletin. And now the latest around the wide world of tropics. Tropical Weather Bulletin for May 16th. So around the world right now we have 3 active systems, all still at a low chance of development. If you saw our first Tropical Weather Bulletin, the Pacific hurricane season yesterday, you'll have seen that one over there, although we've dropped it again tonight. We have, although, put up the Western Pacific system now as an active traceable system. It's 16 days until the Atlantic hurricane season begins, but there's nothing to look at really at this time. What we do have though is an interesting picture, a few clouds here and there, mainly across the Caribbean region, and over the main development region of the Atlantic, some low cloud there as well. Well, in the Eastern Pacific you can see a ghost of a system there, well towards the south of the coast of Mexico, gradually moving westwards. It's not going to gain any more traction, however, but it does look quite interesting on that satellite imagery with a possible slight circulation. Well, in the Western Pacific, this system is starting to take shape near Palau to the southwest of the island, and is going to be heading towards the Philippines very shortly over the next 2 to 3 days before a possible landfall, if it does become anything by then, a possible tropical storm. North Indian Ocean, things are looking pretty quiet here right now, although we do expect that it's going to generally increase in intensity in terms of rainfall and thunderstorms in the area. Of course, it is that time of year. Bay of Bengal in particular, looking like it's got a lot going on there right now in terms of storms. In the Southwest Indian Ocean, just in case we're watching for any late season activity, well, there's nothing on the radar right now. We know what happened last year, but at the moment, nothing active. But take a look at those numbers for the Southern Hemisphere this year, or this season. Really remarkable numbers: 26 tropical storms, 13 hurricane equivalent, and 8 category 3s. There's those 2 systems still on either side of Australia, though quite far away from Australia itself. C5 and E5, it looks like both of them are on their way out very shortly, so I don't think they'll be troubling us for much longer. So let's take a look at today's selection of satellite imagery. First of all, looking at the Eastern Pacific, where you can actually see 2 little systems there. The one on the left hand side, which isn't looking very good now, but this new one on the right hand side as well, which is what possibly the models were actually hinting at previously, although it really looks like that neither of them are going to develop into anything. Certainly no model support for anything here in the Eastern Pacific now. This is the Westpac, and what we've marked as H5, area of interest 20%, 30 mile per hour winds right now, and an estimated pressure of 1009 millibars, moving gradually towards the west-northwest, southwest of Palau, heading towards Mindanao in the Philippines. Well, here's a wider shot of what's going on right now, and again you can see it there towards the bottom right hand side. Getting a little bit of convection on that southern side, northern side really not looking very appealing though. It's got a long way to go if it's going to get to tropical cyclone status. Only the GFS model is really on board with that at all at this point, and even that is sketchy now in the next 5 days at least. Well, this is the disturbance E5, 10% chance on this, actually looking better today, blowing up some more convection, trying to get a circulation going, although it's being heavily sheared off to the right hand side. So this doesn't look like it's going to form, 10% only on this, and it really is on very little time now actually as well. It's only got probably a day or 2 before it gets completely washed away. And C5, which is somewhere on the very top right hand side of the image here, 30 mile per hour winds, 1006 millibars, position estimate there for you as well, although it is far out to sea and really not doing anything at all, so much so we haven't even got to zoom in on that because it really doesn't look very inspiring at all. So here's some general views of the Australian region, water vapor imagery here as well, showing you those air masses, lots of dry air moving in towards the western coast of Australia right now as well. Wide shot of the eastern United States and the western Atlantic there, and you can see some storms blowing up today. Lots of tornado warnings actually from today's enhanced risk and a moderate risk tomorrow. This is the wide shot over the central Atlantic, where there's a big system there spreading large amounts of cloud towards the north, fanning out there. And in the eastern Pacific, again, wide shot of this region now, showing again fair amounts of convection south of Central America, but not much getting organized. Still very, very early. North Indian Ocean, Bay of Bengal there as well, showing you all of that cloud cover and quite a few storms over the eastern coast of India earlier on. Looking at the South Pacific as well, you can see just a few little areas of storms, in terms of thunderstorms that is, down New Zealand there, looking fairly quiet. Well, this is the radar as well, looking off the US East Coast here too, showing that big belt of storms moving through Wisconsin right now in the last few hours, producing lots of tornado and severe thunderstorm warnings, and a few in North Carolina and Virginia as well. Here's some rainstorms that are moving into the eastern coast of the Philippines, and this is a shot of China moving on towards South Korea, where there's a lot of stormy and very wet conditions there as well, a large front there. And this is the Mediterranean region. Italy looks like they're getting quite a few storms tonight as well, local time, spreading southwards. So quite a lot of things to look at around the world. Sea surface temperatures creeping up there even further in the Atlantic, looking quite good, up to 30 degrees Celsius almost in one or two spots in the Western Caribbean. It will get there in the not too distant future. Loop current looking good as well. Gulf Stream, I should say, is what I was talking about there. Loop current as well, I suppose. Eastern Pacific temperatures are above 30 degrees Celsius, pitching a little bit higher than that possibly south of Mexico. Certainly looks like we could see something form there soon. Western Pacific also looking very good. Of course, the area that we are watching right now is under 30 degrees Celsius temperatures, and off the west coast of the Philippines into the South China Sea, that is the hottest area, 32 degrees Celsius over a significant patch. North Indian Ocean as well, looking similar, very warm temperatures there, 32 degrees-ish there around the Bay of Bengal. You'll tend to notice that the sea surface temperatures are the warmest at this time of year in these regions, and it does cool off a little bit later on into the season relative to what it is now, because cloud cover increases. Here's the anomalies compared to average, and you'll notice there the Western Pacific probably the most above normal. North Indian Ocean as well, a significant spot there in the Bay of Bengal. Atlantic is a little bit above average, not massively, and the Eastern Pacific is half and half. Off the coast of Mexico, a little bit of a warm spot there, but in general it's near average. Oceanic heat content also slowly creeping up too. This is what will be building a lot more throughout the year, especially over there in the Eastern Pacific. One or two good spots there right now. Western Pacific also, as usual, looking very good indeed. Always tons of energy for storms over there. And this is the Atlantic, showing low and moderate at times amounts of energy at this very early stage, not even into the hurricane season yet here. Western Caribbean being the brightest spot there with decent amounts of OHC. I don't have the scale in front of me there, but probably around 150. This is computer models right now, the GFS over the next 5 days, and we're testing out some new visualization views, so let us know what you think of these, whether they're clearer to read out. I would show you just the winds, but there's not much to see, so we put cloud cover on top of the short range as well, showing you that this system really isn't going to do very much in the next 5 days, even on the GFS model, which is the biggest cheerleader for this system. Only just getting up to storm, not even storm force winds there, but 30-mile-per-hour winds as it moves over the Philippines. And this is rainfall expectations for the next 7 days for this region as well. It is going to be a very wet system, even if it doesn't develop as is what is being shown now. Low chance of development as mentioned, but take a look at some of those rain values, particularly on the island of Mindoro and possibly for Panay as well, getting up towards 400 millimeters of rain there, and then look towards the northern tip of Mindanao, getting up possibly towards 500 millimeters of rainfall there, and one or two spots at sea above that, and on Palau getting up towards 250 millimeters of rain there as well, so certainly significant. Well, into the longer range, we've taken the cloud out of it, it because you will see something interesting on the wind profile. And then this is this system starting to develop eventually northwest of Palau and becoming a tropical storm there into the yellow, which is typhoon force, as it starts to move towards the west-northwest over the South China Sea. Quite a large system as well, really, for the area, and quite interesting. Day 5 through to 10 this is. So perhaps something for people to watch after it clears the Philippine Islands. Scan the barcode and that will take you through to the Force 13 merch store, where you can take a look at all of our items as well as our full season and individual storm animations. And we have plenty of other outlets as well all across the web. We put up a Linktree profile so you can take a look at all of those in one place. And in the fantasy range, we've got two systems that end up forming. Of course, the established typhoon, which gets even stronger, those red zones denoting category 3+. And look at that, both of them managed to do it. That second one coming out of nowhere in the Western Pacific Philippine Sea region, starting to move towards the north there, curving nicely. And look at that, both of them getting pretty impressively strong. The first one, of course, going on towards Hainan Island, still a typhoon by the time it arrives, and the second one moving pretty much due northwards. A very, very large system when you look at that as well. And the Bay of Bengal, a potential system here too in the long range. Of course, this is very, very far out, and just like those typhoons that we just saw, I really would put massive caution on this. Anything in the fantasy range, that's why we call it that, or the silly range as we did until now. I've decided to change the name. But there's this little system moving in towards the coast of the West Bengal region, and then eventually a landfall as a tropical storm, and then continuing on inland, weakening and loosening up pretty quickly. Well, it can happen. You can get very powerful storms near the Philippines even this early in the year, and this is one of them. 21 years ago today, Typhoon Nida, category 5 status there. We also had tropical storm Omayas forming behind it, and another tropical storm that didn't get a name, 5W. All in the Western Pacific on this day. It really did light up quickly in 2004. We also had what was left of Juba cyclone in the southwest Indian Ocean, quite notable for being a little bit out of season there, and fairly strong for that time of year. But it was gone by that point. Back to today, and in the Atlantic, the first name on the upcoming season's list is Andrea. In the Eastern Pacific, it's Alvin, and in the Central Pacific, it will be Iona. 25 storms so far around the world this year. In the Western Pacific, it's Wu-Tip. Still haven't seen it yet so far this year. North Indian Ocean, the first name this season will be Shakti. We have about 6 weeks left of the Southern Hemisphere before the Southwest Indian Ocean at least rolls over into a new list. For now, the next name is Lyra. In the Australian region, it's Fina, and that will remain the case even after June. And in the South Pacific, the next name is Ermil. We'll be back Saturday, 12Z.
Become an Ultimate Fan today.